I've had a bunch of questions, not a lot, but I thought this would be an appropriate time to go over the equipment that I use when I do my vlogs and my videos. Hi guys, it's John with Foodie A1C. I hope everyone is doing well. If you're new to this channel, please give me a like, smash that like button if you like this content. Please do subscribe if you haven't done so yet, so you can keep track and you can get notified about any new videos that I do produce. I do produce and release my videos twice a week on Mondays and Thursdays. So yeah, please subscribe if you're interested in this content, and let's go. So as you know, I just started out about 4.5 months ago. I've actually been on YouTube. Not a lot of people know this, but I've actually been on YouTube as a subscriber since 2009. But I haven't really. I uploaded some videos, but I never monetized it or anything like that. To make a long story short, I wasn't very serious about making money on YouTube at that time. You know, this year something changed, and here I am. You know, I've been uploading a bunch of videos. Again, I just started, so. You know, the stuff that I have right now is what works for me, and it might work for you too. So let's get into it. So the first camera that I want to mention is the one that I'm shooting with right now. It's actually a Sony Handycam. That's right, yeah, it's an old Sony Handycam, and I think this is the particular model right here. But yeah, it still works. It's a few years old. It's about 9 years old. But it shoots in 1080i, not 1080p, but hey, you know, the video footage is great. I can edit with it. I can connect to it, download it on my computer, and you know, the same thing with any camera today. The great thing about this particular video cam that I'm shooting with right now is that if I shoot it outside while holding it in my hands, it actually has some image stabilization. And it actually has a night shot feature, which you can use, you know, at night when it's dark. There's actually a switch on it. So yeah, if you have stuff like this laying around your house, use it. It's great for B-roll. So yeah, use what you have.
A few inches later.
So my main camera is the Panasonic Lumix G7. This is actually not the latest and greatest camera. It's about 2 years old. It came out about 2 years ago. Yeah, so I had to learn about this camera, just like anything. And I used YouTube for that. There's tons of videos on YouTube about this particular camera, and any camera actually that a lot of people use. You know, for my particular use is that I use a small rig. I don't know if you can see that. You see there's like a frame, this particular metal frame on it. What that allows me to do is it allows me to attach a lot of the accessories that I use. For example, I also use an external microphone, which is this. Actually, it came as a package when I bought it. It was a package that came with a camera and this microphone right here. Just because, you know, to tell you guys the truth, the sound, if you're using this camera for vlogging especially, and for video, the sound that gets captured by the internal microphone on it is not very good. So I definitely recommend you get an external microphone for this particular camera, and actually any camera that you buy or are choosing to invest in. So this particular microphone came as a package with the camera, so I didn't have to buy it separately. It's a Rode. I'll put a link down below of all the stuff that I'm going to talk about today. You know, just to make it clear, guys, I'm not sponsored. You know, these manufacturers are not sponsoring me yet. You know, to use their equipment. I just, you know, like to tell you guys what I use.
5 minutes later.
I also use a mini tripod. In this case, I use a Joby. I had an old Joby which was smaller. The Joby Hybrid, but this is the Joby SLR. What allowed me to buy this was that I sold my old Joby. I put it up on eBay, and that was my first tripod that I used with this camera, but when I started adding accessories like the small rig, and when I start putting especially my video light on this, when I shoot in dark places, it started to get heavy. So to balance everything out, I needed a bigger Joby. So yeah, so it's a tough little camera. What I like about it is that it shoots in 4K, which I haven't really taken advantage of. I don't really shoot. I usually shoot 1080p at 60 frames if I ever want to do slow-mo or speed up a video segment. But if you're doing a vlog, the most important portion of the camera is the screen. So this one has like a flip-out screen that goes to the side. I really don't like the cameras that have the flip-out screen that go to the top or the bottom. Just because I have a lot of this stuff here. Like for example, if you have your microphone in the center and then you flip up, your camera has a flip-up screen that goes in the back like this, then you won't be able to see yourself. So what's the point? So I prefer cameras with a side flip-out screen like this. It allows me to see myself, to see my, if I'm framed correctly. So yeah, that's why one of the other reasons why I bought this camera. So this camera takes the normal memory cards. These are relatively cheap. So and you can never have enough of this. The first memory card that I bought was 64 gigabytes, and that's fine for if you're doing vlogging. You just have to basically download and erase the content. And since this is only 64 gigabytes, I bought another card, which again, it was on sale. I bought a 128 gigabyte memory card to use for this camera, so I don't have to be moving cards back and forth in and out of the camera. And very important, you can never have enough of memory cards. Other things that I use with this camera is, for obvious reasons, the battery. So as far as battery life, the camera is pretty good. I mean, it's not the greatest, just because the size of the battery. I mean, I'll show it to you guys. It's pretty small. The battery life on this camera depends on the shooting mode that you're using. So obviously, if you're shooting in 4K, you're going to use up more battery. If you're shooting for long periods of time, obviously you're going to drain the battery. And batteries, for the most part, are pretty cheap. Literally pretty cheap. You can get batteries on Amazon. And they're relatively inexpensive. For this particular camera, I bought a set of 2 batteries that came with a charger, and it only cost me like not even 15 US, so pretty good deal. So what else do I use? I use another Joby, and actually let me go get it right now. I'm using it for my video light that's sitting right there, so hang on a second. This is my other Joby. Why do I have 2 of them? Well, for that particular reason. Sometimes I need to put something else on, like the light that I'm using right now. I need to put it in another, in the corner of a room, for example, or on top of a table, for example, while I'm filming something. So this allows me to do those types of placements. And the other part of that is, it's since a lot of accessories that are used for cameras nowadays, come with the 1/4 screw to be able to, put that particular equipment on. This comes in handy. So let's say, for example, your camera died, or my camera died, ran out of battery, whatever, and all I had was my cell phone. This is what I do. I have this little accessory, which I actually forgot where I got it from. It also has the 1/4 inch screw. For example, you're vlogging and you run out of power, your camera dies. Boom. You have another vlogging camera. You know, a lot of vloggers start out this way. Pure nifty. So I'll be right back. It just got darker. That's because I just got the video light that I use. You know, I set it up over there for dark situations or darker environments. I use this. It's a Neweer, Neewer. Again, I'll put the description down below, the name and the model if you guys are interested. Again, not sponsored, so not yet. So if you guys are into affiliate marketing and would like me to pitch your products, I'm here. So again, it has the 1/4 inch screw. You know, I can put it on the Joby, place it right here. You know, if I'm in for example, if I'm in a restaurant and it's dark, I can put this in a particular, on a corner somewhere. Yeah, turn it on, boom. See, very kind of bright. It has a lot of LEDs in it. I don't want to look at it directly. But the great thing about this particular light is that it also takes, I'm not really sure which model, camera batteries. Yeah, you can actually just stick a camera battery in here. Just make sure it's the, you know, it's the right model for it. But yeah, it's the Neweer CN160. Sometimes, boom, see? It's relatively light. I know it's kind of bulky. It looks bulky right here, but I can, you know, I can go and, you know, I can still vlog this way at night, for example. One thing that I do want to tell you guys is that this particular camera is not really too good in low light situations. I think it's the lens. If you guys have been looking at cameras, you're going to find out that lenses are not the cheapest thing in the world. So as far as the lens on this camera is concerned, it's the kit lens. It's the 14-42 lens that came with the camera when I bought it. It's not really the best lens, but it works for my my use at the moment. Right now, if you notice on a lot of my videos, my face seems to be right here, and you know, I don't have the smallest face in the world. It's kind of round. I want to go to more of a wide angle lens, so I'm still researching. Again, there, you know, it's a cost thing that I'm not really, it's not a priority since you know, this works. So, but yeah, eventually I will go to a wide angle lens on this particular camera. Still researching. Okay, guys, back to normal lighting. So what else do I use? I also use a gimbal. What a gimbal does is basically, you know, produces a more steady shot with the camera, but I don't use it all the time just because it adds a lot of bulk and it has a little bit of weight to it, but it's great when it, you know, when I do have the camera. You know, the other thing about a gimbal is that you have to set it up all the time whenever you want to use it. So whenever you know, it takes me a good, maybe it used to take me like an hour to just set up the camera because you have to balance the camera on the gimbal. There's also a video shoot that I'm going to be doing coming up where I'm going to be shooting an athlete playing tennis. So I'll probably use this to follow him around because he's running around. So, you know, this will give me the steady shots that I'm aiming for. But you know, I don't use it too often. But yeah, it's a great equipment. You know, but I got it on eBay. This was a used equipment, but yeah, I figured I didn't need anything new since I'm not going to use it all the time. But it works, so comes in handy when I need it. So as far as camera bags, I use this one. It's a Low Pro, and again, another thing that I got on sale, which is great. I mean, it has a lot of room. It's pretty bulky. I mainly use it for traveling, or if I'm going to be shooting somewhere where I'm going to need to carry all my equipment. So, but you know, other than that, I don't bring this around. You know, I don't bring it around with me. I just use my camera. You know, carry it around like this, hold it. I mean, it's pretty, you know, relatively light, so it's not I don't really need to put it in a bag all the time. A couple of people also asked me within the past couple of days what I use to edit my videos. So I am an old school PC guy. I've never had a Mac. I don't know if I'm ever gonna go use a Mac, but I know a lot of you guys use Macs. So that's great. Use what you have. Again, that's kind of my mantra today. Use what you have. You don't have to go out and spend a lot of money to do this. I've been working on this particular laptop of mine. Right here, I'll even show it to you. I've been working on this particular laptop for 5 years. There's nothing wrong with it yet. Knock on wood. It's still kicking. It's actually a pretty good configuration. It has 8 gigs of memory. It's running i7, I believe. So yeah, I use an old laptop. If you don't have this particular equipment, the only thing that I do recommend you get is a portable hard drive. And these are relatively inexpensive nowadays. As soon as you get to where you're going, what I recommend is you back up your files right away. There's really no, you can't, once you lose those files, you can never get them back. So back up, back up, back up. So the last thing that I'm going to cover is the video editing software that I use on that particular old laptop. I only started with, I think it's Movie Maker that was on there. It was installed with the operating system. It worked for me for a few videos, but I found that with anything that's free, a lot of the features are lacking. So I upgraded. I went to Power Director. I'm using Power Director 16. Power Director 16 has a lot of great features. It's great with titles, it's great with effects, with sounds, and any of the normal, quote unquote normal things that you would need for great video editing. So yeah, it works for me, Power Director. But again, use what you have. If you're on a Mac, iMovie I think is the one that's installed on the Mac by default. A lot of people go to a more professional like Adobe. A lot of people do use Sony Vegas. Yeah, use what you're comfortable with. I'm comfortable with Power Director, so that's what I use. What I've found with anything is that when you're comfortable with something, you use it and you want to learn it. So use what you have, learn it well, and yeah, you can make great videos. So thank you guys for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed this little tidbit of information that I've shared with you today about my equipment and what I use to produce all my videos. Comment down below and let me know what you're using. I'm really interested in what people use. Always trying to learn new techniques. I'm also looking out for new equipment that can enhance my video, producing my videos. So, and I hope to learn from you guys as much as you learn from me. So yeah, let's work together. I want to give a shout out. This is my second shout out to a subscriber, Eric Jazz Foodies, food bloggers from the Philippines. Thank you again for watching and subscribing. My cousin texted me last night, and she was asking me that question that I hope I covered today. Yeah, guys, please follow. They do have a food blog. I will link it down below, and she covers food, fun food, not so expensive, but tasty. And follow her and her family's adventure as they look for good food around the Philippines. So thank you again.